Hey, all, Pastor Will here with another Monday Moment. And I want to start out today's Monday Moment by just saying that I would encourage you to pray for the community of Mishawaka today. There was a tragic murder that happened in Mishawaka on Saturday night. And so I know a lot of people are dealing with the aftermath of that. And I want to let you know that our prayers and our support are with the Mishawaka school community today, and we'll be continuing to pray for them. So asking you to pray for that community and lift them up today in prayer. Along with that, I wanted to say, this kind of thing that happens brings up a lot of questions in our minds and hearts. How can God allow something like this to happen? Why doesn't God get involved and do something? How could this happen? And I want to encourage you today by saying that God has done something about things like this. When bad things happen to good people, or when bad things happen, God has done a lot for things like this. And one of the things that he did is right over my shoulder here is the nativity scene. And it speaks to us of a God who's willing to get involved in our lives, a God who's willing to come to us and be with us, God, Emmanuel, with us. And the nativity speaks to me of God's heart to heal the nations, to set people free, to bring redemption in their lives. And we talked about this on Sunday, that Jesus came to set people free so that they might live the life that they were supposed to live, and that sin might be taken care of in our world. And so I hope that the Nativity, celebrating Christmas and all of that, can bring hope to people's lives who are experiencing hurt and pain and rejection and even death in their lives, that Jesus came to redeem all of that, to even conquer death in the grave. And so that is good news for us at Christmas time. God has done something about the suffering in the world. And not only did he send his son, but he also created us. He did something for the suffering in the world by creating human beings and then empowering them with his spirit to help with the suffering in the world. And we're called to bring healing and hope in situations. So if you are connected at all to what has happened in the Mishawaka community, God has created you to be a healing vessel of hope and redemption, healing in people's lives. So God is doing things in our world, and he's doing something about the suffering, and part of that is you. And I want to read to you a verse that we shared on Sunday. It's from Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 61. And this was what Jesus read as part of his calling to bring redemption to the world, but it's also our calling as well. We can read this as our own calling. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because he has anointed me. He has sent me to bring good news to the poor, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim release for the captives and liberation for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and a day of vindication for our God, to comfort all who mourn, to provide for Zion's mourners, to give them a crown in place of ashes, to give them the oil of joy in place of mourning, a mantle of praise in place of discouragement. They will be called oaks of righteousness, planted by the Lord to glorify himself. They will rebuild the ancient ruins. They will restore the formerly deserted places. They will renew the ruined cities, places deserted in generations past. What an awesome passage to say that God is restoring and renewing the broken places of the world through us and through his son, Jesus Christ. So God is doing something about the suffering. He is doing it through you. And what an encouraging thing to celebrate at Christmas time, that God made a way for suffering and hope. And I hope that that brings you hope and joy during the Christmas season. Janet, thank you for watching. I see you watching. And it's always nice to have people tune in to our Monday moments. I hope this brings you encouragement this week as we continue to celebrate Advent season. Looking forward to the day when Jesus will return again and do something for once and for all about the suffering in the world. Because he is coming back. Jesus has promised us he's going to return. And then will be the day where we all receive that redemption. And I'm looking forward to it. Hope you are as well. Have a great week. And be that passage, Isaiah 61 people, anointed by God, bringing God's hope to all who need it. Have a great week. Love you all.